She sang the hook that launched 1,000 parties. And now, the world is trying to process the sudden silence where her voice used to be. Lauren Bennett, the British singer whose voice you have heard blasting out of speakers at weddings, house parties, sports stadiums, and every single New Year's Eve countdown since 2011, has died at the age of 37. If the name doesn't immediately click, the song will. Party Rock Anthem. The LMFAO anthem that spent 6 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's Lauren's voice cutting through the beat, and it turned her into one of the most heard, least recognized names in modern pop music. Her former group, G.R.L, broke the news on Instagram, and the statement alone was enough to bring fans to tears. They wrote that it was with great sadness that they were sharing the passing of their beloved Lauren, that their hearts were broken, and that they could not begin to express how much she meant to them. They went on to say that her beautiful spirit touched so many lives, and that she would be deeply missed and forever loved. The statement closed with the words, "Rest peacefully, sweet Lauren, you will always be in our hearts." Here is where the story gets complicated, and where fans are demanding answers. As of right now, no official cause of death has been released. Not by her family, not by G.R.L, not by any representative. That silence has left a vacuum, and the internet, as it always does, has rushed to fill it. Some fans have pointed to past interviews where Lauren spoke openly about her struggles with emotional and mental health, and are now speculating about whether those struggles played a role in her passing. But to be clear, that is speculation, not confirmed fact, and nothing has tied those past comments directly to her death. Until an official cause is released, anything beyond that is guesswork, and we are not in the business of turning grief into a guessing game. What we do know is the life she lived before this moment, and it is a story worth telling properly. Lauren Bennett was born on June 23, 1989, in Meafam, Kent, England. Long before Party Rock Anthem made her a household voice, she was a teenager competing in local talent contests, chasing a dream that felt impossibly far from the small English town she grew up in. She auditioned for the UK's X Factor back in 2006, made it further than most, but was sent home just before the live shows. For most people, that would have been the end of the story. For Lauren, it was the beginning. That X Factor run put her in front of the right people. She was invited to audition for a new group being assembled by Robin Anton, the producer behind the Pussycat Dolls. Lauren made the cut, and at just 17 years old, she packed her bags and moved to Los Angeles to join the girl group Paradiso Girls. The group scored a hit with Patron Tequila, featuring Eve and Lil Jon, and gave Lauren her first real taste of the spotlight. But it was 2011 that changed everything. LMFAO needed a voice for their new single, and Lauren, alongside Goonrock, delivered the hook that would define an entire era of pop culture. Party Rock Anthem didn't just top the charts, it became inescapable. It has racked up billions of streams, soundtracked countless movies and commercials, and cemented itself as one of the defining party anthems of the century. That same year, Lauren stepped out as a solo artist, releasing I Wish I Wish alongside Mike Posner. In 2012, she joined forces again with Robin Anton, this time as a founding member of G.R.L, alongside Natasha Slayton, Paula Van Oppen, Imogen Estrada, and Simone Battle. The group gave the world Vacation, featured on the Smurfs 2 soundtrack, and Ugly Heart, their biggest hit to date. But in 2014, tragedy struck the group when member Simone Battle passed away. G.R.L responded with Lighthouse, a tribute written in her honor, before eventually reforming and continuing to perform together over the years that followed. Through all of it, Lauren never stopped writing, never stopped performing, and never stopped being the voice behind one of the biggest songs of all time, even as most of the world never learned her name. As for her financial legacy, various celebrity wealth estimates place Lauren's net worth somewhere between $1 and $2 million, built from years of touring, streaming royalties, songwriting credits, and her work across multiple groups and solo projects. It is not the kind of number tied to superstardom, but it reflects a career of steady, genuine work in an industry that rarely rewards consistency the way it should. Tributes have poured in from fans all over the world, many of them saying the same thing in different words, that they had no idea this was the voice behind the song, and that discovering it now, under these circumstances, makes the loss feel even heavier. So here is the question hanging over all of this. Why has no cause of death been announced days after the news broke? Is the family protecting something deeply private, or is there simply nothing more to share yet? And here is the detail that has genuinely stopped fans in their tracks. By the time most of the world learned Lauren had died, she had already been laid to rest. Reports indicate she passed away roughly 3 weeks before the public announcement, and that a private memorial had already taken place in Kent, England, attended only by close family, friends, and her former bandmates from G.R.L. and Paradiso Girls. Guests reportedly wrote heartfelt messages on balloons before releasing them into the sky as a final tribute, standing beneath a memorial display that read, "Celebrating the life of Lauren Bennett, forever loved, forever with us." In other words, her family and closest circle had already said their goodbyes in private, weeks before the rest of us even knew we needed to. That timeline alone tells you something. This was not a death rushed into headlines. It was a family that chose to grieve quietly first, on their own terms, before the world's attention arrived. Whatever the cause turns out to be, that choice deserves respect, not speculation dressed up as certainty. We will be watching for updates, and if anything official comes out, we will bring it to you the moment it does.